Alright, let's get started here. I went in and actually worked on this a little bit earlier. I didn't change anything. All I did was clean up all the objects and named everything, so I knew when I selected something that I know what I'm looking at. I also altered the size of the hub here on the side, airlock or whatever it is. Still looks a little big to me, but see, it might look good from the front, scaled down a little bit. When I get over to the side, there's just too much room, so I'm going to leave it as is. And what I'm going to do is start creating the detail, like all the little pipes and stuff that are going to go all over the edges and on the top and in these areas here. I'm not going to really model them onto the ship. I'm going to create some reusable shapes. You see, I pulled some detail from the Millennium Falcon here, and you see there's a lot of reused items here, kind of like these little circle things and these little guys and whatever. But what I'm going to first do is make pipes. So I'm going to go to free layer, and I'm going to shut off all of that, and I'm going to make my space a little bigger while I'm working here. So pipes, there's a bunch of different ways to do this. I'll make sure that that didn't shut off my stream. No, I just maximized it, whatever. In Blender there is, I really wish, let me see if add mesh. I don't know if that was, there was a add-on. I don't know if it's actually in the it was like add pipe pieces. Let's see. Bear with me here a minute. The extra objects I know is just weird shapes and stuff. I wonder if they got rid of it. Don't know either way. There's a few ways I can make pipes. And I'm gonna hold on a second. My head is already big enough. It doesn't need to cover the whole stream here. Okay. And I mean, I could take a circle and extrude that, and could even take a torus, cut it up, and need to use it for the corners of pipes. But that's not as flexible as I want it to be, because if you are using a mesh object, so you're using a circle, and you extrude it, and then you know, extrude these around 90 degrees. I mean, you can, you know, alter the size of the, you know, the size of the diameter by scaling it, but you're kind of locked into the amount of geometry that you created initially. So, like in this case, if I scaled this way down, I don't want that much geometry. I could, you know, get rid of every other one or clean it up any number of ways, but there's a easier way. Curves. So let me take oh, you pain in the butt. Let's go back to the mesh. This is just kind of a quicker way of making a 90-degree curve. I can turn this into a curve, so now I can just extrude that for a straight piece, extrude this, and of course I can reverse it and rotate it to get, like, I could turn this way, I could turn up, but first I'm going to put some thickness to this, and this is where you have a lot more control over how big your pipes or tubes or whatever, even wires if you go real narrow with them. Let me just bring that out here. And so in this way it's non-destructive until you convert it back to a mesh, but I'm not going to do that yet. And as you can see, we have relatively low resolution. I can crank that up however high I need. I do want somewhat of a non-blocky look. But the cool thing is with these, the size and the resolution can be changed at any time. So right now I'm just concerned about creating these reusable shapes. So I have a curve here, which I can actually duplicate and let's rotate that just so we don't have to do it later. And of course you could join these, and then in edit mode you could connect any pieces you need. So I have that because I don't want to be let's just mirror this down. So I have that. And I'll mirror this across. So I can put these together any which way I need. Really didn't need to do that, but they're there. So I have these corner pieces. Which I can scale down to make even, you know, sharper corners if I need. And the circumference and or the radius and the resolution I can change out whenever, so you know, scaling these doesn't affect anything. So actually let me bring that back, and I'm going to connect a couple of these. I'm going to duplicate these. I'm going to join them together, and oops. I need to select everything before I do this. I'm not getting perfect with that, but so I have a piece there, and let me hook up these two. Okay, kitty. Hold on a second. Yep, meow. Okay, so I have an S shape there, and oh, I don't know, what else do we need? There's not a lot of pipes in this picture. So I got a U shape, I got this. Actually, I want a U shape. So let me join these. Get rid of this, and get rid of that. I can leave those. Well, that's silly. I could just delete these because I can just shorten that up. Instead, I think I'll make a new one here. What do I got resolution on these? 1. So I've got something like that. Now I want to do I'm just kind of have to eyeball that so it's not too crooked. So we got an angle there. There's going to be other instances where I might need to, you know, take something and kind of adjust it, however, but I just want basic shapes right now, at least for the pipes. I think that doesn't really cover it because I want to do a Y shape, but those are... Actually, I think I have some already pre-modeled shapes. So, take that and let me connect these some way here. I'm going to mirror that. Where'd it go? And that should be join these together so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So I got a little curve going there, and I also want I'm going to take this one, I'm going to move it to the first layer because I want to this gets a little... Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just go back to here. 90. Because what I want to do is take... I don't think I need all these. Yeah, let me get rid of that. So I want to duplicate that piece. I'm trying to think of the orientation I need. So if I have that, I want that is really just screwing me up. Trying to think, I need that pointing down, so let me do that. How, why was that so hard? Turn that off, that's irritating. Oh, well that is absolutely horrible. So when I go around a large pipe, probably just wait until I need to do something like that, because this top piece would be a lot smaller. I'm just testing something out here. More something like that. Anyway, I'll keep that around. Might need it. Kind of worry about the more complex ones as I get to them. So there's some pipes. These can be used for quite a bit. And they're all adjustable, so I don't have to worry about messing with the resolution until I need to. So there's some pipes on that layer. Let's go to a new layer and make some. Ooh, those are different there. So I'm gonna make something like this. I like those. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna do the circle ones now. I like those. That's just a flatter version of that. I can make these little nodules there. Those are simple little cylinders, something like that. So some basic cylinder shapes, and then this little kind of fan vent thing. I'll just leave those visible. Actually, I want to turn off that one. And so let's go ahead and get cylinder, and then don't. I'm trying to, since putting all this detail, I want it. I mean, there's all kinds of ways I can optimize this, but I think 12 should be good. Let's see. Well, let's just get to shaping these up a bit, and so I'm going to do those. And I'm going to extrude that down. Get rid of see, even that might be too much for especially really small pieces. Let me get another cylinder and bring that down to 8. Smooth that. I'm gonna just compare. Sure, this 8 will be fine, but alright, let me fix that. So wow, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, see, the 12 one looks better. Even, I mean, sure, from way back it looks, I don't know if I'd be rendering something that close. Bring them up. Because these things would be, I mean, at best they would be like that. They'll just keep them both. Big one and for a bigger size, and so let me just go ahead and scale that up. Do this. I'm just doing a little extra. I don't know whatever that's going to be. Bring this up a bit. So there's something like that, and bring that back up. I think 12 is going to be good for some of these things. So I'm going to take that down. Can actually just make one piece out of that. And I think I could, I don't know if that's going to be too wide. See if I get a, whoops. Let's see what's gonna look good. If it's just gonna be every other one, or if that's too many. Then I'll separate those. Oop, wrong button. I'm going to actually bring up all of these a bit. So that can be one. Unwrapping that's not going to be any fun, but kind of good. It let me undo a whole bunch. I'm gonna actually do this instead. Whoops. So I can see it. Let me get rid of some of the, or at least that's really all I need. Yeah, let's bring it down there. And we will duplicate it. And this way I can control how many. Nine. I like 9. We'll do 9. Okay, so there's another one. 2 pieces. And I want to do that flat. Oh man, my neck is killing me. And this one, trying to think if 12 is going to be enough. Yeah, I don't want to be doing a bunch of... Yeah, because if I just extrude this in, I want to have uneven separators. So I'm going to do this. I probably could have just done a cylinder and to begin with. Let's do that. I'm gonna leave the bottom on that until after I remove. I really need to do some like vector graphics that I can import. It'd be a lot easier than doing this. Just double that. And we'll reshape that. I'm going to use this to cut. I don't know how well it's going to go, but maybe I could do 12. I'm going to see here. Yeah, I probably should sit down and make a bunch of vectors. So, do that. Bring that in. I'm just kind of... Actually, I think... Now those would be holes, which I'm going to get rid of that. And we can kind of see what I don't know how this is really going to look, but let me just actually duplicate. I'm going to mirror this over. So I want to do more than just... This isn't going to be perfect, but it'll give me something to guide. So I can keep the line straight. That's too far over. It's a little bit off center, but so let's get rid of this again. Oops. Mirror that, and then I'm going to mirror everything. Recalculate this, make sure it's alright. Let's see what that does. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to, what's that? Circle 19. Oops. No, I didn't want to do that. Let's do a Boolean. Circle 19. Difference. Move that up the stack there. And I'm going to apply it and see what happens. That looks okay. I'll keep it around for now. Do that, but I want to get rid of unnecessary faces and just hope this isn't gonna be, that actually is not too bad until we try to triangulate it, because right now these aren't necessarily all triangles or four-sided polygons. So when we get to finalizing everything, I could actually fill in some of these too. Okay, so there is that. I'm going to save this so I don't lose it. Get rid of these too. Just gonna make a, so fill that in there, something like that that we can tweak as needed later. There's gonna be a lot of, because I'll make these vents. And then there's just a lot of square bits and pieces. There's some machined cylinder unit looking things. Yeah, it's going to just be a bunch of iterations of kind of the same thing. Ooh, that's what I need to do. I need to build a something underneath the grate. Kind of gives it a little more depth. There should be more pipes in there. So the rest of it is going to be random. I do want to make some like panel door hatch looking things. So that's something. It's a start. So I've got pipes going. I got a couple little doodads there. This I don't know if I like, but meh. I might clean it up a bit later. Actually, what I'm gonna do is, before next time, I might just make a bunch of vector designs that I can bring into, just import into Blender, because it would be quicker drawing excuse me, drawing those out. And then it'll just be a matter of kind of slapping them all together. And so I'm going to do a couple of simple vents. Vents, hatches, some machined larger excuse me, lathe bits, I guess. And the rest of it's just kind of slapped onto cubes and panels. Here's some struts. I could make a couple of struts for something. Alrighty. I think I am going to leave it there for today. So pipes and those, and I just need some vents and all of the stuff. So it hasn't changed. Disappointing. So I'm going to go ahead and save it there, and I'm going to actually get some more of that stuff made up before next time, so we can just start putting everything onto the ship. So I'll need a bunch of stuff for inside here too as well. Yeah, once we start slapping that stuff on, it's gonna look a bunch better. A bunch better. Much better. So let me go ahead and leave it there. I'm gonna be gone until Monday, so I can't stream until then, so it'll be next Monday. Yeah, and I'll have more detail done hopefully before the stream, so I don't have to sit there mucking about making boring stuff that doesn't end up looking cool at the end. So I want to get all that stuff on the ship. It's going to look badass. So have a great week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and click the little bell icon to be notified when I post new 3D modeling, gaming, or educational content. Until next time.